Welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. Our topic today is the economic effects of pipeline vandalism. As you can see, there's yet another fuel scarcity. The GMD of NNPC, Dr. Ibe Kachikwu, recently announced the unbundling of NNPC into 5 separate entities. This caused the labor union to call for a strike and therefore leading to the scarcity of products. So we're speaking to regular Nigerians and asking them how this fuel scarcity affects them personally, how it affects their well-being, and how the government can put a stop to fuel scarcity once and for all. We are an oil-producing nation, therefore we shouldn't have to go through these problems as often as we do. So we'll be looking at the fundamental causes of pipeline vandalism, which is one of the contributing factors to where we find ourselves in today, economic hardships and recurrent fuel scarcity. So stay tuned for these exclusive interviews. My name is Osasu Igbenedion and I am your host. Welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. Today we are in the NNPC fuel queues. So today we're here with Mr. Abasi, and he's going to tell us what he does and his thoughts about the unbundling of NNPC and how it's going to affect Nigerians. So thank you, Mr. Abasi. I'm so sorry that you have to wait in this long line. So can you briefly tell us what you do for a living?
I'm a civil servant. I work with the Enugu State License Office.
Okay. So what are your thoughts about the unbundling of NNPC?
Well, it is good. It is very good that you understand, because it's good to privatize the NNPC. But the problem is, this present government, they come against the previous one, that they're supposed not to privatize, our properties that belongs to government. But now they are almost the whole thing, they are going back to the previous government. I don't understand. But it is good to privatize the thing. I think they should put more effort and carry everybody along so that they will support them to privatize the thing.
Do you think this privatization, well, they haven't necessarily called it that, but this restructuring of NNPC would lead to more accountability and transparency within the government organization?
It will lead, because, for example, I am in government. I don't understand. Any property that belongs to government, people doesn't take good care of it. They useless it. In short, if you want to take good care of any government property, others call you winch. They call you many types of this thing.
So what are some suggestions, or what ways would you advise the government to curb the issue of pipeline vandalism? So our power sector, our fuel, we can have content fuel, and all these other things can start falling into place for citizens like you and I.
I think the best thing government we should do, as you understand, there are people who are in grassroots, which they use, as you understand, for this vandalism. They should go, as you understand, they should find out those people, that they use for all this vandalism, and maybe give them job, because all those pipes are in the village. There are people who there are communities that control those pipes. As you understand, I think government should go inside there and employ those who are very close to the pipes line, and also use a uniform security, to back up. I think all these things will stop. And
Thank you so much, Mr. Abasi. Yeah. God bless you, and I hope you're able to get some fuel soon. I'm here with Mr. Sunday John Ola. What do you do for a living?
I work with the civil servant.
You're a civil servant,
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your take on these fuel queues? You've been here since 8 a.m., you said?
8 a.m., right?
8 a.m.
Yeah.
And right now it's about 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So what is your response to this?
What I would like to tell you is this. If they are selling, good. But in this case, there's fuel and they have refused to sell. So what is my take this afternoon is, at least the government should come to our aid to make this product available for everybody to see. Because one, the officer I represent here now, no movement for the whole of this today. And there's no possibility of us getting this fuel today. What will it say about tomorrow? So that is what I am saying.
Well, I've seen a few cars go in and come out.
They say they are registered customers that have coupon, a kind of ticket. They come and give them to take some 1,000 or 2,000 and then go back.
So only registered customers are allowed to buy
Only
fuel in this
registered
NNPC
customers
station.
are allowed to buy petrol for now at this filling station here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the solution to this problem? Because fuel scarcity, the lines are actually getting longer from when we came.
Yes.
What do you think is the solution to fuel scarcity permanently? We're an oil-producing country. There's no need for fuel scarcity. What do you think some of the fundamental issues are, and how can the government solve it permanently?
Is to build more refineries. Nigeria is getting larger every day.
Do you think that this fuel scarcity is the fault of the government or the fault of fellow Nigerians like you and I?
It's the fault of the government.
Tell me why you think it's the fault of the government.
Okay, now, the government, they are supposed to meet one-on-one with this oil association. You know, Pengasen, NNPC. Like what we heard today, NNPC have called off the strike. How did they agree to call off the strike? And stuff like that. They need to meet and deliberate so that people don't suffer. Not to talk of the product is not available, and they have them. So the retailers now, or the wholesalers who are the NNPC filling station, why are they holding it back? So they should see that maybe a kind of check meeting is being done. Okay. They are seated there in the office now. They say they have called off the strike. They are supposed to go around too to the filling stations, check if you have product, open there for people to sell. If you don't want to sell, send the military guys inside for them to just sell products and keep your money for you, or send the money to the federal government treasury. I think that would be better.
How about if I told you that some of the fundamental issues like pipeline vandalism is what is keeping Nigeria the way we are today? This fuel scarcity that we see, our fellow Nigerians, brothers and sisters, will go and break pipeline to go and let our oil flood the entire river, flood their communities. Therefore, our power generation has dropped to like 1,500 megawatts. You know, we see recurrent fuel queues. So I think fellow Nigerians are also to blame. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I will agree with you partially. But since we know these problems persist always, what they are supposed to do, and I know they do, they vote money into security of these pipelines too, which we know. They should at least do it faithfully. You understand me? Because we heard they have bought helicopters to checkmate the pipelines. Are they actually doing it? We let the boat flying boats on the high sea to checkmate them. Are they actually doing it? That is just it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
How do you see this fuel queue?
So we joined queues by 7 o'clock. I was here. So there are some people where they came here by 5 o'clock. Even up to now, we never see fuel. So there are some people where they came with their big motors. They enter into the filling station, they're selling fuel for them. So we, the people where we stay here up to now, we didn't see anything. They didn't tell us that whether they are selling for us or not, we don't know. So they didn't tell us. But they are just selling to the big men. So we don't know how it will be. Whether we are not in Nigeria or not, we don't know.
So how does it affect your personal life, this fuel scarcity? How does it affect your income, your finances? How does it affect your day-to-day life?
Yes, it's affected. Because of even up to now, I didn't carry even one person. Till I carry person before I will get money that I will send it to my children to go school. If up to now, see me now, I am from Maiduguri. The crash of Boko Haram, he is one who for sure me, I left Maiduguri, I came to Abuja to survive. I came to Abuja, I didn't see any survive. Now my children, they are calling me, they need money from me that they wanted to go school, to pay their school fees, to pay their registration in high institution. So, but even up to now, I didn't send even 1 naira to them. So how should I get this kind of money? I don't know. Because I never work today. Because tomorrow is Friday. I wanted to send money to them today. Whether or tomorrow, I don't know. Whether I will get that money or not, I don't know. Only God knows.
So we're about to wrap up the interview with Mr. Abdullahi Dandodo Dauda. And I asked him a question. I said, did you go to school? And here's his response.
Yes, I go to school. I started my secondary education on 14 November 1979. I went to Government Science Secondary School, Monguno. So by that time, I will remember I have my classmate, someone like Deputy Governor of UAB, Abubakar Ali. And then there's one of my classmates, Alak Ali Mukhtar, the Provost of College of Education, Maiduguri, Borno State. And then there's Yusuf Alaji Isa Abadam, HOD SLT Department, Ramata Polytechnic, Maiduguri. And there's one guy again, Engineer Malim Kari, we are calling him MK the Great. So all of these people are my classmates. So anything can happen.
Wow. So how come you didn't go to university?
So because of by the time when we complete our secondary education, I went to business. By that time, I'm doing my business from Maiduguri to Ibadan, Lagos, and Oyo, and that Ikare, and so on and so forth to Yoruba area. So I used to buy cow and skin. That cow skin, I'm taking there. So after that, sometimes I'm taking my market to Ghana, Republic of Ghana, and Republic of Benin, and Republic of Togo, and happen. So then my life now will change. I became a taxi driver.
Wow.
But I don't think that I will be a taxi driver at all because of the crisis of which I face it in my state. So that's the reason why all my business is spoiled, all my business is liquidate. So that is the reason why the remain money where it remain in my hand, I bought this car to say that let me try whether I will become a rich man. So that's the reason why I start driving taxi now.
So if you had a chance to do it again, you would go to university?
Yes,
instead of pursuing business?
I will go. Yes, really, even though.
Wow.
If I get chance.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
because
good.
of education, it's not too late.
That's very true.
Yes,
that's
even
very
you
true.
have 100 years, you can go to school. Because of education, it's too late. You too said, education, he brought you to this
Yes.
this TV station. Even you are staff safe. If to say that you don't get education, they can operate these cameras.
Exactly.
Even you safe. If you don't get education, you can interview with me.
Yeah.
Even I myself, I know I don't have education, I can interview with you.
So do you have any final words to the government and the good people of Nigeria before we wrap up?
Yes, what I'm going to say now, what I will say to the Mr. President, I'm begging Mr. President to take action about this crisis. For those who wanted to bring problem in this country or to make Nigerians to suffer, Mr. President, let him drive that person out to bring another person to enter, because we had many graduates in this country. We have, for those who have their degrees, we have some of our graduates, they have masters, and so on and so forth. So, Mr. President, what I am going to advise him, he have to invite those graduates to come and enter. They will do more than the one who they are living now.
Thank you so much for your time.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Brigadier General Rabi Abubakar, thank you for joining us in today's program. Can you tell us some of the major challenges that you face in trying to curb pipeline vandalism?
Having appraised the need for constant monitoring of our pipeline across the country, the military came up with what we refer to as joint task force. And joint task force in Niger Delta, initially it was codenamed Operation Restore Hope, because then there had been a series of criminal activities. There had been, serious bundle activities, in addition to the frequent communal clashes between different types of tribes that live in that general area. So the government decided to come up with this task force in 2005. One was established in Ori, Delta State. One was in Port Harcourt, River State. And they operate simultaneously with the mandate of ensuring the safety of the pipeline and other national critical infrastructural assets of the government and non-government alike, and equally to checkmate the activities of the ex-militants and ex-agitators in that general area. And that has been on for a very long time, up to 2007, when it was eventually merged, to become one task force, and with its headquarters in Ori. And it was placed under a two-star general with the same mandate of securing our nation's pipeline against vandalism and other activities of criminals in that general area, and equally to give some level of confidence, to the expatriates and Nigerians who are working in oil platforms and other oil companies. Since then, the task force has been on, and all other military establishments you see in Niger Delta or in the general area of Southwest or South, as I said, are principally, mandated to ensure the safety of the pipeline and equally to stop illegal bunkering and other criminal activities that have been associated or perpetrated by just few in the name of militancy or whatever they call themselves. And this mandate, we are not going back on them. We are extremely proactive, and we're able to stop a lot of activities then and now. And as a result of that, a lot of successes being recorded, jacking up the oil production, as we are very much aware, and then giving protections to the pipeline in that general area until just of recent, when we had an unfortunate incident of oil, pipeline vandalism.
I want to bring to your attention the Arekpo-Ijedodo axis in Lagos, Ogun State.
We are coming to that.
They are the most notorious for the oil pipeline vandalism. From our investigation, we found that there are major vested interest in this axis. Major oil marketers are involved in this crime. So how about naming and shaming them publicly? Because we haven't heard of any major oil marketers, and we know they're involved. We know they're perpetrators. So how about naming and shaming them in the public eye?
If you have been following the trend, you understand, of the military's activities and other security agents in that general area, you discover that, especially in Niger Delta, you discover that there is no day that will pass without apprehending a ship, carrying large consignment of illegally refined products. Crude oil, you understand? On daily basis, we made the arrest. Naval headquarters, in fact, they had to establish what we call Naval Central Command. Naval Central Command is primarily, established to ensure that no illegal oil activities takes place, either on high water or whatever. And then even the activities of the bandits, have been tremendously reduced, even because of this just last one. And I am telling you that nobody who is more important than this our country, nobody. And the law will take its course. And we have all the machineries that we can do that. You understand? The challenges we normally faces is in the ongoing operations is the local, because I kept telling you that these people are human beings. They are not spirits. You understand? They are not spirits. And I believe if the community, it's not all community members that are, agree to this kind of thing. We have highly respected citizens there that don't like this kind of thing. You understand? So we do things, in order to make sure that those who did this kind of thing have been apprehended and then brought to book in line with what the Constitution provides.
The GMD of NNPC and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachiko, recently stated that he was going to deploy drones for surveillance purposes to guard the pipelines. Given the current state of our economy, we calculated the cost of these drones, and we found out that from our cost analysis that it ran into multi-billions of naira. And obviously taking in consideration the recent drop of the oil prices and our current economic state, do you think, number one, this is feasible, and number two, do you think it's a better alternative and more effective alternative to men on ground?
That declaration or that statement, he made that statement when he visited the Chief of Defense Staff here, that that's why he came to Defense Headquarters to collaborate with us on how best we could secure these, strategic assets. And we all agreed that the military would definitely come in. It had been on, it had been coming in, and it will be more proactive this time around. The issue of drone, the air component of the airports, which are primarily under the control of the Defense Headquarters, are working around the clock. They are coming off with strategy and liaison with NNPC to know how best they could deploy the drones if needs be. Okay? If there is any alternative arrangement which could be more effective and more, cost effective, then definitely the armed forces is always ready to do that.
Okay.
Yes, I'm speaking with you. The soldiers are all over the place. The naval, the naval officers, personnel, the air force, army, they're all there. Other security agencies are there. So you cannot in any way begin to think of impossibility in this kind of thing. We must make sure that it's possible to achieve whatever we want to achieve, because this is our country. If you cannot do it, then nobody will do it for us.
Exactly.
You understand? And we all agreed here. The Minister of State for Defense, for Petroleum was here with our headquarters, and we all, deliberated on how to come up with a simple and cost-effective strategy on how to surveil this pipeline. And I believe it has been working on. The only thing is we are yet to, so to speak, deploy. The drones are not able. But I think before we do that, the armed forces are there. For now, the ground troops are there.
Do you think the drones will be more effective than actually having men on ground, or is it going to be a combined effort?
No, you see, this is an era of IT, technology. You understand? We have simple technologies that can take care of all these things, but we must have physical security.
Okay.
Okay? The personnel must be there to ensure that, no physical person come and inflict any harm to the pipeline wherever it's located. You remember that we have over 50,000 pipelines in this country, connecting to all parts of the country. So it's a huge effort which is required. And I believe it's not going to be too hard to do. You understand? With the current, as Allah said, the technology, our physical security, and our commitments to this our nation, I believe we can be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve within a short time and with cost. With less, with cost effectiveness, and we get where we are going and get results.
Any last words to the viewers?
Yeah, my last word is: this is our country, and a good citizen should always be hopeful on what to give to his country to move it forward. Selfish consideration, I think, will not help will not help the nation to grow. People must team up, must back the government, in achieving good thing for this our country. And I believe people must be involved in whatever the security agents cannot do it alone. You understand? The timely informations from the locals, from the community, from all well-meaning Nigerians, either in the northeast or in the south where this vandalism is taking place, and wherever, must be given to the security agencies in order to do their work well. Primarily is safeguard this country from internal and external saboteurs, because we have them. Just allow it happen. But it should not be simply continuing. Okay? And the security agencies are advising that no stone will be left unturned in doing our best to our country.
Brigadier General, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.